Oh, hey guys. Welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I'm your host, Rob French. It's Thursday and time for an all new midweek breakdown. So don't go anywhere, guys. We got an awesome episode coming up. Hang tight. I'll be right back. Cheers.
Rob's Arcade, Rob's Arcade, where the games get played and the games get saved so they can be played on another day. Rob's Arcade.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for hanging around. Like I said, welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I'm your host, Rob French, and it's time for the midweek breakdown, which I know typically comes to you guys on Wednesdays, but luckily I don't have a producer. It's my show, my channel, my problem, and you know what they say, better late than pregnant. So anyway, the show must go on, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the midweek breakdown, this is typically a show where I just hang out with you guys and talk to you about comics and just any kind of like nerd stuff that might be going on. So if this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we do these every single week, as well as show you all the new comic books that I pick up for New Comic Book Day. Now, before I get to that, we've got some cool stuff to talk about. Now, I think one of the most important aspects of these recent and upcoming midweek breakdowns is that they're back here in my hometown, Richmond, Virginia, where Rob's Arcade all started to begin with. Now, since I've been back in Virginia, I've been hanging out with some friends, some family, most importantly, my good friend Andrew, who's really been instrumental in helping me get through all this, getting me back up here from Florida. Dude, wherever you are, I know you're watching, and I want to say thank you. You're awesome. Now, we've been hitting up some local trading card shops, local comic shops, grabbing some lunch at some local places here in Richmond, Virginia. And then earlier this week, I took them to one of my favorite spots here in Richmond, Bow Tie Movie Land Cinemas. Now, it's a theater here in Richmond, Virginia, and for those of you who know me well, know I'm like a movie guy. I love movies, I love films, I love going to the movies, I love watching movies, and Bow Tie Cinemas is probably one of my favorite theaters here in Richmond, Virginia. Now, if you're a local, you haven't been, make sure you do yourself a favor and get to Bow Tie, and if you ever find yourself out this way, again, do yourself a favor, pop over one afternoon, grab a movie. You're not going to be disappointed. They kind of pitched that whole movie going the way it used to be, only better. And I think once you come in and sit down, you'll see exactly what they're talking about. I think Andrew had a really good time there. So if you had a good time, Andrew, hit that like button for me. Appreciate it. So anyway, we got to go see the new film Morbius, which was really cool. The new Marvel Sony movie. And I'm not going to give you like any big spoilers or anything if you haven't seen it, but I am going to suggest you go check it out. I know it didn't do well as far as critics go and some fans of other Marvel movies are concerned, but I think that's just because they're not quite familiar with the whole property and a lot of the stories and the character itself. Now, somebody who's read a lot of comics and knows the character pretty well, I think it was an excellent, straightforward comic book movie. No crazy, weird, over-the-top plots where there's like world domination and huge city destruction everywhere. It was just very straightforward, good vampire, bad vampire, duke it out till the end. Great setup film. We got some cool things you can see kind of piecing together. And just based off of what I've seen from Morbius, he's a really awesome character. And his powers, oh my gosh, he's gonna give Spider-Man a run for his money when those two finally meet. And I can't wait to see that. Now, something else I can't wait to see is the new episode of Moon Knight. Now, that comes out next week. The newest episode just came out yesterday, and already I can't wait to see the new episode. Now, if you guys haven't been kind of keeping up with this show, it's very weird, kind of Loki, WandaVision-like. It's, you know, the new Marvel TV show on Disney Plus, and it's kind of weird, kind of trippy, a lot of like mind effing with you, don't really know who's what and where's going on when, but the overall action and just the storytelling, the music, the way it's filmed, the acting, everything is really great. And I have a feeling it's one of those shows that once it's all come out, you're really going to want to go back and watch the whole thing and see how it's like I said, just like WandaVision, Loki, those were kind of shows that started off, I don't know, a little strange, a little weird, but by the end you had some great setup, some new characters introduced, and yeah, I can't wait to see where Moon Knight is going. Really, really cool episode. And it's getting like, you know, as the trippiness and all that kind of go on, it's starting to make a lot more sense. The first couple episodes I was really lost, like what in the world is going on? But now it's all starting to kind of piece together, which is, you know, just a great example of what great storytelling can be. Now, what a great segue. Speaking of storytelling, let's go ahead and jump into the most important part of the midweek breakdown, which is the comic books that I picked up this week. But before we do all that, we should go ahead and take a look at the books that I read this past week from the selections that I selected from last week's new comic book day. So anywhere, hang tight. Let's go ahead and check out me reviewing and showing you guys what I read this past week. Don't go anywhere. This should be cool. Can't wait to see. Roll that clip, guys.
All right, guys. So before we jump into the few books I did pick up this week, and I do mean few, let's go ahead and take a look at what I read last week. Now, I didn't write anything down in my journal. I've got a little journal while I keep all my, you know, scratches of how many books, kind of like jail time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I read 12 books. I did a count. And let's go ahead and take a look at the 12 I read last week that I picked up last week. We got Scorch number 4, which has the very cool Jim Lee X-Men number 1 homage cover there. Spider-Punk number 1, very cool book. I'm very much looking forward to reading more on Spider-Punk. It's got a really cool, like, heavy metal, rock and roll vibe mixed in with comic books, which I've always thought it always meshes well. You know, it's just a great vibe between those two, rock and roll and superheroes. We've got a 238 of Amazing Spider-Man reprint, very cool. It's got all the awesome little advertisements inside, as well as number 1 from Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, guest starring the Tarantula, very cool read. I like that a lot. Jumping forward to 2022, we got Batman from DC Comics, number 122. Getting into a crazy new arc. Jumping even further into the future, we got Batman Beyond Neo Year number 1. Very cool. Always love the animated series. Terry McGinnis is a beast. And then I picked up Static number 4. Little backtracking, so I read that. And I'd read 5 and 6 before, but I decided to jump back, reread issue 5, because I kind of missed a beat with issue number 4, finished up with issue 6. It all made a lot more sense, people. Also picked up Mr. Miracle number 4, so I went ahead and went back, even though I'd already read 5 and 6 of these guys, re-picked up these guys and went back and reread. So there we go. That's the 12 books I read this past week. Guys, I hope you are getting to your comic shop, picking up some comics yourself, getting some reading in, because reading is truly the best superpower you can have. It gives you imagination. It gives you knowledge. Knowledge is power. Make sure you read. Even just a couple comic books a week, man, you'll be doing yourself a favor. So get to your local comic shop. Help support those guys. Do yourself a favor. Grab some comics. Now, let's get back to the show and see what comic books I picked up this week.
Sorry, we're back. Sorry, didn't know. Hey, that was really cool, right? Some really good titles in there. Now, I'm afraid to say, if I want to hit 12 books this week, I'm probably going to have to go back and dig through some old titles, because there wasn't a whole lot out this week. Now, I went back and watched the Comic Book Club Incorporated video, which, if you guys aren't familiar with them, it's a YouTube channel that I follow. When I was staying in Florida, they got a great comic shop there. They do a YouTube show. I love watching those guys. They kind of show you everything that comes out this week. And I caught their episode kind of late last night. And there were a few things in there that I missed. Apparently the What If Miles Morales was completely sold out. I do plan on tracking that down. And the Incredible Hulk monster book that I read. Was that last week? Is that in the stack? I don't know if I put that in the stack or not. I can't remember if that was the week before or last week when I picked up that book. But the follow-up to that book is out. I think the first one was Madness, and now Monsters is out, or is it Monsters and now Madness? I can't quite remember. Anyway, I'm gonna make another trip up to the comic shop. They also had some delays on some of their books this week, so apparently a lot of stuff from DC didn't release. They had a great launch of their independent stuff this week, but DC I think got caught up with some delays on shipping. So some of their books might not hit the comic stores until today or maybe even tomorrow on Friday. So we'll just have to kind of keep our eyes open and see if we can't score some more books, maybe over this weekend. So maybe we'll do a special follow-up on Easter to see what else I grabbed. Now, I didn't grab a whole lot this week, but let's go ahead and jump in and check out what I did pick up this week from my local comic shop, Stories, over on West Broad Street. Make a whole day of it. Come into Richmond, go grab a movie at Bowtie, Movie Land, and then head over to Richmond Comics and grab you some comic books. Go see Morbius, and then go grab some Morbius comic books. Or go grab some Morbius comic books and then go see Morbius. You decide. All right, so we got Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 37. Great book. Really enjoying this. Miles Morales right now seems to be all over the multiverse once again with his clone brother, Blurp, just kind of helping him out along the way. Really cool character. Wasn't really sure how I felt about him at first, but Blurp, I'm really starting to dig him a lot. And, you know, there's something about the Miles Morales Spider-Man books. I've just recently, in the last even few years, have been enjoying this title a lot more than the Amazing Spider-Man title. Now, the Amazing Spider-Man title is getting ready to start a new run, so that might all change very soon. Like, I think we got John Romita Jr. coming over soon. They're going to be restarting the whole book. And then something else I'm not really digging. I'm sorry, I just don't really dig the new costume on Miles there. Just not really, don't know what that all about. Kind of looks like he's like a skier or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's it from Marvel this week. From DC, we have Batman 89. Very cool cover there. Now this, of course, is a series that is based off of the Tim Burton Batman universe established back in 1989, 1990, 91, 92, all that stuff. And as we see here, we got a great homage cover to Batman Returns with Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. And this has just been a really cool take. We got, you know, here we have, let's see if we got a good shot here of Billy D. Williams looking Two-Face character here in this book, and a Black Robin, which was something that I think they were talking about doing with Will Smith. He's not here, is he? He's not here? I'm okay? Is Will Smith here? He's not here? Okay. So apparently Will Smith was supposed to play Robin in the Batman Forever film, and they're kind of doing that. But we got, like I said, Billy D here in the book as Two-Face, and then we have a young African-American, young black male here playing the Robin character, which is really cool. I love that idea that they're kind of building off of the cinematic universe, which was kind of what got me into Batman to begin with. Like the very first time I saw Batman with Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton in the theaters. Again, I love movies. I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked on that character. That was what did it for me. That's all from DC. From Image, we've got King Spawn. We're celebrating 30 years of Image, established back in 1992. I've been with these guys all the way. Still got all my Image books upstairs, from The Pit to Max, Savage Dragon, Spawn, and now Spawn has built this whole universe. We got Scorched, we've got King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, the Spawn universe, and this right here is probably next to the original Spawn title, my favorite Spawn title, King Spawn. Although Gunslinger you're starting to, I didn't like that at first, but you're starting to kind of weasel your way into my heart. Really cool cover, really brutal. We got all these angels with their wings ripped off, their hearts ripped out. Very like finish on Mortal Kombat style here going on. Very beautiful cover. Cover is done by Bjorn Behrens. So Bjorn, very great job. I'm not even sure how long all this took you with all the detail in the legs and in the feet here with all these bones, each feather. I mean, this is all, there's just a lot of work, a lot of cool work going on. And then on the back here, we get a preview of what number 10 is going to look like. Very cool. And that's all from Image. I only picked up an amazing 3 books. I think this is like a record low for New Comic Book Day. But just to add to the stack, I picked up the blank King Spawn number 9 in case I want to get creative, or if I find myself at a convention and there's a really cool artist hanging around, it'd be great to get them to do something for me as well. Or even, just getting a bunch of autographs on this, just random crazy autographs, and just throw it on eBay or something. So these blank covers are, it's funny. They literally, they cost nothing and they make so much off of these, but they're really cool, really great idea. I can draw on this if I want to, or get, like I said, an artist. They fold all the way out, so you can even do like a big splash, page if you want to. So pretty cool. And in case I do get bored and I run out of stuff to read and I can't find anything in my backlog, which that's never a problem, we got comic shop news. The Defenders Beyond. This looks like it might be really cool. Got Loki and what looks like maybe a ragtag gang of some of the other lesser known characters. But yeah, looks like it'd be pretty cool. And then on the back here, we got some of the other Defenders there. Defenders Beyond. It's kind of like a Batman Beyond, I guess, right? They're ripping off of that whole thing there. But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. I guess that's all the show we have for you today. Like I said, a lot of cool stuff. Moon Knight, new episode. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. If you don't have Disney Plus, go make a friend with somebody who does. Go check out Morbius and go check out your local comic shops. Pick up a couple comics, guys. You never know. There's always something out there for everybody. And as I've always said, reading is the best superpower you can have. It gives you imagination, gives you knowledge. Knowledge is power. So make sure you read. Until next time, guys, remember, this isn't goodbye, simply to be continued. As always, I'll be back. And until I'm back, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Go have a great weekend. And Easter is coming up, so make sure you guys spend some time with your friends and family. Have a great time. Have an excellent weekend. We'll catch you next week. Take care. Enjoy yourself. Happy Easter, guys. Cheers.